Namaste.
Namaste, Dr.
Yogi
Satyanarayana.
Virendra Yogi.
Namaste.
I am Dr. Satyanarayana,
You are welcome, sir.
BB Nagar,
Yeah,
Yadadri district of Telangana,
very good.
India.
You are welcome.
And you are the student of Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill.
Oh, yes, sure.
And tell me, what is the wealth?
Oh, very good, very good. You know, Dr. Satyanarayana, these two people whom you have called just now, Andrew Carnegie was the poorest man. He has nothing. He was the son of a weaver. And they were so poverty-stricken in Scotland, England, that they migrated to US to change their fortune. Because once industrial revolution started, the manual mills and all got shut down. When they reached there, he became a bobbin boy in some industry. And slowly, because of his great vision and great intelligence, he became the richest man in the world. And when he became the richest man in the world, he wanted to share his riches with the millions of the people on the streets. So he really defined what is wealth. And Napoleon Hill was his student. So I tell you, the greatest wealth, my opinion, focus on Amma. The greatest wealth for a man is a wonderful lady who is very obedient, who is very disciplined, and who is so much affectionate that the man has no tension in life. She takes care of the person in such a great way that all the torture, suffering, worries, anxieties of the man is gone, that the man is contented. So one of the supreme power a man can possess is to have the wonderful lady. Amma is one such great lady. That's why I tell you, a contented man with a wonderful family. She is cooking here, you see. She has nothing. I'm telling you. She is nothing. She is not having billions of dollars. She is cooking in this ordinary wooden farm. And the people are there. They are going to eat something. But I tell you, these people are the richest people on earth. Now you will tell me, what is great about them? Dr. Satyanarayana, you will ask me, what is great about them? Look at these people. They are staying in this beautiful nature. Just show my viewers. This beautiful nature, thousands of acres of land. The owner of this land is staying in America. He is a great builder, Venkat Ratnam. You see the beautiful garden. And they are just working here. Now focus on me, sir. They are just working here. But they are the happiest people. Now you will ask, what is great about them? They don't have even the electric oven or that gas oven. They are cooking on the woods. But I tell you, they have positive mental attitude. What they have?
Positive mental attitude.
What is positive mental attitude? They follow the path of truth, justice, peace, love, non-violence, kindness, compassion, honesty, integrity, humility, generosity. All the beautiful assets which Buddha has got, these, you can say worldly poor people, they are the richest people. You understand? So what is the real wealth of a person? To have positive mentality, to be honest, to be sincere, to be loyal. Example you have seen of that madam.
Yes.
When you came there, instantly she opened the gate and she's inviting you, sir, please come in. See the manner, see the hospitality, see the love and respect. That is called positive mental attitude. Love everyone, respect everyone, care for everyone. Okay? Second is sound physical health. Look at my Amma. She is very strong. She never falls sick. Sound physical health. Look at this boy. He's so strong. He walks 12 hours in this garden. Still he is so fit. You see, no fat, only fitness. Look at this great man. So understand, what is the second riches?
Health.
Sound physical health.
Sound physical health.
What is the third one? Third one is the mind is free from worries, anxieties, depression, frustration, all sorts of ills. Okay? Then next comes in the line, they have good relationship with everyone. To maintain a harmonious relations with everyone without surrendering as far as possible, maintain a very good relationship with everyone. They are friendly to everyone. You understand? That is the fourth riches. What is the fifth riches? Fifth riches as per Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill is that you should be optimistic. You should be a dreamer. You should think about what future greatness is coming. Because every day you are sowing the seeds of your beautiful thought that is coming into a beautiful harvest. So your golden future is awaiting for you. Means optimistic. You are never depressed. You are never disappointed. You are a man with positivity.
Positivity.
You see the bright future. Because every day you are sowing the seed, though the harvest you may not see, but it will grow a tree and it will give shelter to those who are striving for it. Understand, sir? So that is the fifth riches, what Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie said. The sixth one is you should be ready to help everyone. Whatever wealth you got, money, wisdom, intelligence, you should be able to share with everyone. Willingness to share all your blessings to others. And the greatest wealth is believing in yourself. Tell Satnarayan. Believing in yourself.
Believing in yourself.
The capacity for applied faith. If you believe in yourself, in the power of your mind, which has all the ability, which made everyone everything in earth, you can also become great. So understand? The greatest wealth and riches is your self-confidence, self-belief, self-discipline, dedication, commitment, determination, passion, which are the starting point of all the great achievement and success in life. Clear to you, sir?
Clear.
Then comes open-minded. Open-minded means the sky is the limit. You can think anything, and you think what you think that you become. Wright brothers thought of flying. You know, so many great people thought different and they achieved it. So understand? That is called open-mindedness.
Open-mindedness.
And the conservative people will never think anything. They will think, no, conformist, nothing can change. So they are self-reliant. Self-reliance is one of the greatest riches. And then comes, you know, your ability and your capability to judge others. You should be so intelligent, your wisdom should be like a laser beam or X-ray, that by seeing only you can say what kind of person he is. You hear few words from the person, you saw his behavior and manner, and you will write a report. As one of my great friend, Dr. Satnarayana, he's a great doctor from India. He's sitting in his clinic, and the moment a patient is coming, he starts looking very seriously. And his mind is so much well-trained and disciplined, instantly he writes description and then he asks the symptoms of his disease. You understand? That is you, Satnarayana Garu. That is called intelligence. Means you are so much absorbed in your area of business or calling that you just see the symptom by observing on the face. Face and mind has a thought. You read the thought of the person, how he is feeling, and then you ask and you match it. What you read through the vibrations of his thought in the mind and what you are asking, are they matching? Slight changes. And the 12th, last one is real money. Money come last. Anybody can have money, but nobody can have positive mental attitude. Nobody will have sound physical health. Nobody will have, freedom from worries, anxieties, fret and everything else. Nobody will be always, having all this kind of optimism. Nobody will be so much generous to help everyone. Rarely somebody will be self-believing, self-confident, courageous and bold. Very few people are willing to share all the wealth with everyone. Very few people are open-minded. They are conservative. Look at it in India and abroad. How conservative they are? They are dogmatic people. They are tribal type. They don't understand the universal power. That is the power of the nature. They believe in religion. They believe in casteism. They believe in nonsense, hatred, jealousy and all cynical thoughts. That is not open-mindedness. I thank you, Dr. Satnarayan, for such a visionary questions.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Doctor.
much.
Thank you.